Halo Sobat Kabuzen. Mount Everest, puncak gunung tertinggi di dunia, memiliki ketinggian sekitar 8.848 meter. Gunung ini telah menjadi inspirasi bagi banyak pendaki dan petualang untuk ditaklukkan, karena alamnya yang sangat ekstrim dapat menyebabkan kematian. Akke Rahman, seorang muslim Inggris keturunan Bangladesh, berhasil mendaki ke atap dunia tersebut saat menjalankan ibadah puasa Ramadhan. Rasa dingin yang ekstrim, haus dan lapar yang harus ditahannya tidak menyurutkan lelaki tersebut untuk mewujudkan mimpinya sejak kecil. Akke Rahman dengan ketaatannya terhadap perintah Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala untuk menjalankan puasa Ramadan berhasil memenangkan pertarungannya melawan alam yang ekstrim hingga hampir merenggut nyawanya tanpa membatalkan puasanya. Ini membuktikan bahwa berpuasa tidak berarti membuat tubuh kita menjadi lemah, melainkan menjadikan semangat kita semakin menyala untuk mewujudkan hal-hal hebat. Sehat tanpa obat, sehat dengan berkeringat, kekar bugar di usia senja. Kabuzen.
My name is Akke Rahman. I'm an adventurer and I summited Mount Everest in 21 days whilst fasting for Ramadan. I was born in Bangladesh in a town called Saat, and I moved to the UK when I was 18 months old. I was always competitive, and I felt like I didn't feel like I needed to prove anything to anybody, but I just wanted to be the best at everything that I did. When I was in secondary school, and I just realized I was really good at athletics. I used to run 100 meters really fast, and I was good at triple jump. I became the champion of triple jump for intermediate boys at the age of 14. The climbing bug had been inside me since I was a kid. Back in the days when I was growing up, we didn't have YouTube or, internet like we do now. And I used to wait for programs to come on Everest, and I used to think, oh, those guys are heroes. Maybe one day I could climb Everest. And that was it. I never thought about it ever again. Until like a few years ago, me and my friend, we always went on talking about climbing mountains. And then every year we used to talk about it, get really excited, and then go home and forget about it. A few years ago, I remember him talking about it with me, and we both got excited. And I remember going home and thinking I'm going to forget about it. Guess what? He calls me up and he goes, mate, we're going on that day. If we don't bloody go, we're never going to go. I got really excited. I started looking at YouTube videos, at what the trail looks like, on Mount Snowdon. That's the first one that we're going to climb. And I wanted to check the trail that we were going to take and how it looks. And then you know how you have like these videos that they suggest. And then I was looking at Snowdon videos, then Ben Nevis videos, and then it went on to like Elbrus and other mountains, and even to Everest. My first climb on Elbrus wasn't actually a success. I had to abandon the climb due to storms coming in. I looked at my phone and I saw the forecast and I could see the storms coming in. And I'm like to the group, like, let's go today. I can do it. But they said, no, you're acclimatizing, you can't do it today. And I felt a bit disappointed because I knew that the storms were coming in and we weren't going to be able to do it. So we ended up going off the mountain, and I actually paid a guide to try and take me up, and we tried to battle the winds and the storm to get to the summit, but it didn't work. So I came home deflated, distraught, probably depressed a little bit. But I managed to raise enough money to build 10 water wells in Bangladesh. That was my first ever charity project. I started, a different campaign, and I climbed Kilimanjaro in I think it was July, and then I went straight to Mont Blanc and I climbed that in a day. Essentially I climbed 2 mountains in 2 continents like within 7 days, and when I got back from those 2, I realized that Russia had opened its borders. I landed in Russia with 2 days, and the 3rd day by 12 o'clock and I'd have to be out of Russia because my visa would expire. So I'm planning it with my guide. We plan to do it in 2 days. If not, we've got the 3rd day to fall back on, but I'd have to be out of the country by 12 midnight. And I said to him, look, it's going to be difficult whether we do it in 2 days or 3 days. Let's do it in a day. And that's when he threw a fit. It's like, okay, it's impossible. We can't do this. I did it in 2 days with oxygen mask, and those guys struggled. And you're saying 1 day. What you're saying is almost impossible anyway. And now you're saying you want to do it in a day. And I said to him, look, Dennis, calm down. We've got 2 days, possibly 3 days. We'll try it in a day. If not, we've got these other days to fall back on. Let's just give it a go. I knew I could do it, so we went and it was done. When I landed in Lukla, which is like the gateway to Everest, it took 8 days to trek to base camp. So we had a couple of days in some places. put my hand in my bag and I realized I got a multi-pack of Snickers. And those were frozen, thawed, you know, over the last 15 days, and they were flat. And I just thought, you know what, I'm still gonna have to have something. They've got nuts in it, high energy, high protein, so I had them. And I remember I was from 7,000 onwards and through the death zone for 3 days. I was on 2 Snickers bars a day. The death zone is above 8,000 meters. Camp 4, where we stay, is just touching the death zone. And the reason why it's called the death zone is because there's 29% oxygen there in the air, and the human body can't survive there. When I remember taking those last few steps, and I knew I'd summited Mount Everest. I was just elated, and I felt like I've accomplished it, and I felt so grateful. I made a prayer saying, thank you for bringing me to the summit, God. Just take me back down safely. I remember almost breaking down, and my guide, who was like tough as nails, this guy said to me, listen mate, there's no time to cry here. Let's go and take some pictures, have a drink and go. You can cry later. And he sort of put a stop to that. Other people's guides were like hugging them and, you know, consoling them. Oh, well done, you've done it. But my guide was like, mate, no, you can cry later. Let's go do what we need to do and go, because it's not safe. We were probably there for about 20, 25 minutes, sat down, had a drink, took some pictures, and then we just made our way down. The weather's opened up, the hell is on its way, so I think we're going to get off.